back to the GSL Up and Down matches for Season 2 of 2012. We're currently in Group D. Here are our current scores.
And guys, there's one thing that I just want to mention because it's been a topic every single time that we do group stages. For us, it's really hard to follow the exact results in the games. We have to cast like 15 games, sometimes in the tiebreak it's even a lot more, so after a time you kind of lose track of who won against who on which map and everything when it comes down to the tiebreak situations. Obviously we record every win and loss for the players and are able to determine if they're on the same score. But while you sit at home and have a lot of time on your hands, can check everything up on GOMTV.net, can go to SimLiquid or wherever in order to determine who has the direct advantage. For us it's kind of hard. We are in constant, well, we talk to the guys in production, but the language barrier is quite often a bit of a problem, so we will probably end up with a tie situation today as well. We'll try to get exact with the details about what's happening, but sometimes it's really hard for us here to determine everything immediately, because at the same time, well, we kind of have to entertain you. So, yeah, just to let you know out there that we try our best, and sometimes it's just really hard. But we have the scores here, and those two will... Well, for Lucky, it's going to be kind of an endgame. He has to win this match. He would be at 2-2, and he would force Killer on a 2-2 score as well. The game is going to start. Belcher Beach, Zerg against Protoss. Ladies and gentlemen, the GSL with Kel and Wolf is heading into another game. This time it is Killer against Zerg. Step up if you want to feel this music. Stop it, keep rocking. Adrenaline phenomenon, let's use it. No need to prove it, just lose it.
This song drives me crazy. To the bottom right of Belcher Beach, our Protoss player for Complexity Gaming, starting in the red colors, we have
Complexity Killer.
Killer won 2 games, lost 1. He's therefore tied with for GG and Huck. The winning side of the group, well, we have to the top left his opponent for FXO. We have
FXO Lucky.
And let's face it, Lucky is kind of lucky with the maps today. Yeah. He did not win against Huck. We saw the game on Crossfire, but as you pointed out before the match, the statistics this map are in favor of Zerg. He could not make good on it. He lost the match, and now he's up against his opponent on Belcher Beach, another Protoss, and this is also one of these maps where it's kind of hard for Protoss to prevail against Zerg.
I really feel like, to be honest, the way this group has gone for, like you said, he was a little bit lucky, but Killer, I think, may be able to just take this match. I have a good feeling about Killer on Belcher right now. Killer's the kind of guy who can prepare really well for maps, and I'm sure he's prepared pretty well for this one. He's going to go Nexus first, and this is the main indicator where I feel like whenever I see a player go Nexus first, like we saw Huck go Nexus first on Crossfire, I'm like, oh, this guy has been practicing a lot. You don't just go Nexus first, you go Nexus first if you have been thinking a lot, you've been staying up all night. You know, when most people are sleeping, you're laying in your bed, you're thinking about all the different ways you could defend against all-ins with the Nexus first on Belcher Beach. That's the type of build where I look at that player and I go, I think this guy's got an edge.
He definitely has a lot of confidence going for the next first play here, and he isn't his best matchup. He is 20 wins and 15 losses against Zerg, 57% win ratio. On the other hand, I have to say that Lucky has a very nice record against Protoss. He is currently on a win ratio with 70%, which is kind of insane with 33 games in the GSL. Well, also a couple of games against Foreigners at Assembly, but still a very impressive win ratio. So, it's going to be interesting to see who's going to come out ahead of it, but you're right. When you go Nexus first on a map like this, you definitely put a lot of thought into how you can defend against potential all-in plays. So let's see what Killer is choosing as a follow-up and how Lucky reacts. He's going for the third base this time.
Yep, and the probe will be spotted here, and he will not scout anything. Oops.
Well done. Very, very nice for Lucky in the early stage, here denying the scout immediately. And
now he's going to have to potentially make a second cannon because he doesn't even know if the gas has been taken or not. Completely in the dark at this point.
We have 2 Overlords in position in the main base of Killer.
Yep. And he is going to be able to see exactly what Killer is up to. He wants to see the timing of the gases. Cybernetics core going down for Killer now, and it looks like he's going to skimp on the second cannon.
Yep. He's not building a second cannon
so
at all. Huck cancelled his earlier, so Killer's like, yeah, well, if Huck can pull it off, I can pull it off as well.
He will likely continue. Actually going to make a second zealot before Sentry here. That's going to allow him to save a ton of gas. Always, actually I take it back, his core is a little bit later than I thought, so he just can't make a Sentry yet. Oops. Oops, guys, I guess I messed up. I guess there should be like a thread about this one.
And I think
doesn't he know you need a cybernetics core? Doesn't he know that?
Stargate transition.
Yeah, there's the
Killer now. I think people just like to talk more about you, picturing you with a beard.
Yeah, people. I heard there was a thread about that. In fact, it's kind of funny. I don't stay that up to date on like what threads there are all over the place. I know I don't have a fan club, but I have like a thread where people are supporting me, wanting me to be able to live without shaving. But here's the thing, guys. I actually
you have a fan club or you don't?
I don't have one, but I don't.
Me neither.
Oh, I thought you did.
No.
Well, that's kind of weird. But anyway, I could have sworn you had one, but you're just so popular.
Not that I know of.
I don't like facial hair. It's not that I want to grow a beard. That's not what I want. I just don't want to ever have to shave. Maybe I should get like some sort of hair follicle destructive surgery so I don't have to grow a mustache. What? Wait, what?
I just have this picture in my mind. You with one of these mustaches that you had in the 70s. Pulling a Starsky and Hutch. Oh my god.
Well,
could you please try to distract me so that I get this picture
there's
out
a
of my
void array on the way, and
Thanks.
6 roaches are in production here as the lair goes in. We are going to see a 4 gateway zealot void ray timing here. He did lose his first final, but the probe remains alive, so he will be able to make a second one. Not very close to his opponent's third, but close enough to where this could be scary.
Killer is now pushing out a tiny little bit. He has the gates in the back, and we have him with a +1 attack upgrade. And I really like these builds. I really think that this is one of the most powerful builds that Protoss have now in order to take down a third base.
Yeah, I don't think he will be able to take it down this time because the roach count is too high.
Yeah, Killer, well, Lucky is preparing very well for this indeed.
But even so, he will be able to trade okay here. He needs to make sure he controls his void ray so that the roaches take hits from it. And the zealots are fighting the Zerglings. This is not ideal for Lucky.
Especially with a +1 attack upgrade, not done just yet. The first 4 crawlers are built.
Oh, some hesitation here. He lost his pylon, he cancels his second one.
Speed is not done. We have tunneling claws actually started before roach speed.
Oh, his +1 wasn't done before the engagement. I think that's why he pulled back. Killer's +1 just finishing now in 2 in-game seconds. Phoenixes are on the way as a robo is started for Killer now. Overseer comes in, scouts the gases have been taken, and he also sees the robotics facility.
Killer gave Lucky a lot of time to prepare for this, and you are right, he can't do a lot of pressure with this play, especially the Void Ray won't be a big help since we now have additional Queens, we have additional Spore Crawlers, and this is looking pretty good for Lucky so far. The Phoenixes have been spotted as well, so Lucky is in a position where he knows everything that's happening on this map. Transition for Killer now into the robotics, which is kind of standard, but we don't have any kind of Hydra play, so...
Nope, and that's actually something I really like. I love when people feel confident to deal with Void Rays and Stargate play without Hydras.
Hydras is just so vulnerable. You have this timing where you can do a lot of damage with your Hydra list.
Oh, he's doing it anyways.
Wow. I'm actually a little bit surprised that he's going for a late Hydra.
Me too, I'm disappointed.
There are a ton of timings, especially on Daybreak, for example. If your opponent starts with Stargate first, you have a timing window where you can pressure with Roach Hydra. But now he already missed it because the robotics bay will be done at the same time as the Hydra den. And I don't really like this.
I don't either.
If he uses it as a precaution, that's okay. He's going for the Hydra range now. But if he Well, if he builds too many Hydraulics right now, he will just be in a horrible position. He has to build constant number of Overlords because those Phoenixes are pressuring quite a bit. But still, lucky in this position, especially with him being on 3 bases, 73 drones against 58 Harvesters for Killer.
Yep. Now Lucky has also, his Hydro Sten has been spotted by his Phoenixes. We'll see how many Hydras he makes. He's making 8 Hydras right now, getting range and +1. I just do not like the Hydra's choice here. What can he really do? He can't push across the map and attack with them. They're expensive. I mean, they're not super expensive, but they're just not going to be useful. He's spending resources on them that he should not be spending. This is the thing that Stargate play forces Hydras. It's like playing right into his hand.
And he does not have anything to counter Colossi.
He's even scoured the robotics. I find this so strange.
It's indeed a little bit odd. I would have at least expected him to start building a Spire. There it is. There it is, yeah.
Okay. He only made 8, I believe. Yeah, 8 Hydras, so that's not terrible, but
I can live with 8.
I can live with it. I'm cool with that.
As long as he starts the Spire in order to get the Corruptor production going, and fine. I like that he borrowed the Zerglings. This is always nice to see borrowed Zerglings. It not only gives you awareness of when your opponent starts to expand, but at the same time it will delay the expansion a tiny little bit.
Yeah. Very useful. Oh,
nice.
I guess those Hydras ended up being useful for something.
Yeah, they definitely pay off, and it's kind of being safe against Sagitt's anyway. He did not overcommit to Hydraulos, so it's alright. With 37 Roaches, the majority of his army is consisting out of units that can definitely hold a candle to the Colossi.
Yeah, and he's getting very aggressive with those units right now. It's all going to come down to Force Seals if he decides to engage. I don't really like this position here.
He's maxed out though.
Oh, he actually gets in before the Force Fields go down, so it's really good for Lucky.
Horrible Force Fields here.
Yeah. There was nothing he could really do, and now the Hydras are even going to take out the Void Ray.
And at the same time, the first of the Colossi is already dead meat, dead metal. And wow, Lucky on 137 supply. Killer taking down a lot of his opponent's units, but the third base might just have to be cancelled.
Yeah, it will. He's going to lose the cannons here, and Killer not even going over to the Nexus right away. Now he is, but he's not canceling it, and I don't think he can hold his Colossi with this few units.
This is a mistake. He should have cancelled the Nexus. He can take down a few units. I actually don't think that it's the best choice of Lucky to disengage into his opponent's Stalkers and Colossi, because at this point Killer was sure to win the engagement and he just threw everything away. He could have tried to escape to the left of the map. He did not. He has to rebuild now, but 13 Mutalisks are now in the on the map, and they will probably hit the economy line pretty darn hard.
They will, because there are, even though there are 11 Stalkers out, he's going to be using those to pressure right now, which is exactly what Lucky is counting on. So he's going to move out right now, force him to turn around, but he's going to kill a lot of workers in the process. There's one Phoenix back at home too, but that's not going to be enough. Here come the probe, retreat.
Wow, nice micro here by Lucky. Look at how many of these probes he's killing. This is actually kind of insane. He's taking down one after another. And of course it helps quite a bit that he has this area of effect damage with them as well.
Oh, he may have to cancel the Nexus again. No, there's not enough units here though.
Taking down a Stalker and a Sentry and focusing down the rest of the Stalkers as well. Killer he played this. He did not expect the Mutalisks to actually engage. He walked back with his army because he thought they would retreat, but guess what?
Now
they did not.
He's going to lose even more Stalkers here at his natural.
Oh my god, Lucky plays this so well. He has a 4th base at the top right.
Yep, and there's no mining going on at the main except for a few gas probes, which will be shut down right now. Look, he's like, you're right. There's no mining going on here.
17 workers killed in total now, and of course a lot of Stalkers.
Yeah, the supply 163 to 117 right now. +1 weapons for air, almost done. More mutas being morphed out here. He's going to be at a total of 27, and that's a lot of mutas.
Everywhere. He's not missing a beat. Lucky is everywhere now, expanding all over the place, spreading his creep, building Mutalisks, going for the upgrades. Ling and Mutalisk, his weapon of choice. He's going for the run-by attempts, and Killer with 130, trying to establish this third and stabilizing. Nice, not missing run-by
nice
attempt.
trap here.
Oh my god!
Oh wow!
Not going for the whole position.
That was really goofy. He's gonna lose the main Nexus most likely here.
Yeah, he will.
No way he can
There's
save
no
this.
way.
Even with no Zergling upgrades.
taking down a few of his opponent's Stalkers as well. Wow! Lucky can trade armies now, and he is taking down his opponent's Stalkers. Most of them are already dead. He loses a fair amount of Mutalisks as well, but he can certainly afford it.
Yeah, there are only 16 Stalkers out now. The drone count 77 to 46 here. Lucky is looking so good right now.
Oh yeah, he is. He's 50 supply ahead. He's getting another base once again, expanding to the right side of the map.
A huge Zergling counterattack getting set up.
The problem for Killer is now he kind of has to attack. He kind of has to move out, but every time he does, suddenly we have Mutalisks or Zerglings running past his army. And at this point, Killer kind of lost the game already. There is not a lot he can do. He can't really split his army.
No, he can't. He's going to actually trade Stalkers for Mutas here. Pretty good trade for Killer, but actually with no blink. Okay, there he goes. He gets 2 Mutas. That huge Zergling counterattack was thwarted because he was met with only Colossi, so that wasn't the best trade for Lucky. But even so, he still had 6 more Mutas on the way. Put him a total of 36. He is not stopping Mutalisk production.
And if you play this kind of style, you have to have good mechanics. You have to make sure that you have enough lava, because at some point you will lose, for example, all the Zerglings that run by and you have to reproduce them. But Lucky is not missing a beat with his injects. He is injecting so much. And now once again, Zerglings and Mutalisks against Stalkers, and the Stalkers will not win this engagement. Too many of them die. He's taking down the cannon as well, headed into the main base once more, killing probe after probe, and Killer, he's just desperately trying to defend his base, but there's not a lot he can do.
Yep, it's 87 to 37 workers. He can't even defend his third. Now the Muta's doing so much.
They're just bouncing between the bases.
Colossi are all on the same hotkey.
Oh my god.
They're losing more Stalkers. He blinks under, but Lucky does not care. Trading again so efficiently. He's got such a better economy. If he kills the Stalkers, then Killer can never really rebuild them.
Lost a lot of Mutalisks in this engagement, but still we have 26 Mutalisks again, only 15 Stalkers, and 6 additional Mutalisks are being built. Killer cannot attack. He just can't. Every single time he's moving on to creep, suddenly we have those Mutalisks headed for the main base.
Yep, and that hatchery will fall, but that is the least of Lucky's worries right now. He does not care. He can actually take out the majority of these Colossi, or at least try to. He does get forced back by a blink, but it's max against 104, and look at this. I mean, look at this.
Zerglings in the main base, sniping another Nexus. He won't be able to save it.
All the pylons, so he cannot have any more powered gateways. Killer
is playing this so
He's well even turned around. Killer is so indecisive right now.
Yeah, he can take on the Stalkers, and this is exactly what he does. He takes out Stalker after Stalker. Those Colossi will be helpless against the surviving Mutalisks. He's building 11 Spine Crawlers now, 7 additional Mutalisks. This is it. GG! Lucky is now on 2-2, as is Killer. This group is getting so insane. This group is getting really, really insane. We have so many tie situations here. And, well, before the match, before we started into the group, Wolf and I asked for your opinion. Just tweeted us at ProxyWolf or at Calder in order to tell us who do you think will actually advance into Code S. And now we have... How many games did we have?
Like, that was our 10th game, I believe.
The 10th game, and we are none the wiser. This is actually...
It's hard to say who's going to get out. It's very
impossible.
Close.
It's really, really impossible. For some of these players, we only have 1 game left. Lucky and Killer, they only have 1 game left in this group, and could go either way.
It could go either way, man.
This is crazy. We don't have a favorite in the group yet. We don't have one player that just lost all of his games or whatever.
Everyone is just very neck and neck.
Yeah.
Our next match is going to be Virus against Huck. Remember, again, if we have a tiebreaker situation, we may have one like we had yesterday where 3 people or more are tied, and so we have to go to tiebreaker rounds. But if that's not the case, whoever has won against the player they're tying with advances. So consider that when you think about how close all these players are, because the order of their wins and who they've played against will come into play perhaps at the end of the day.
And just to give you a heads up on the next matchup, we have Virus, who currently, he lost 2 of his maps, he won 1. It's basically the same situation that we just had with Lucky against Killer, because Huck, on the other hand, won 2 of his games and lost 1. So if Huck wins, he is leading the group. He will be on 3-1, while if he loses, he will be tied with Virus, with Lucky, and with Killer.
Yep. Huck is looking still a little bit stressed out. Hopefully he won't have any frame dropping issues like we've seen earlier today.
I really hope that this does not occur again.
Yep, me too. Like really hoping so hard. I don't think we will have any more issues though. Virus, the snazzy hairstyle is ready as well. The map is Daybreak.
I actually think that even if Huck had frame drop issues, he wouldn't mention it at this point because the last 2 games he couldn't do anything about it.
Yeah, very true. We're going to jump into the game right now. This is the GSL Up and Downs Group D with Caldor and Wolf.